Lions should trade TJ Hockenson. Okay, why do I say that the Lions should trade Hockenson? Well, obviously season's not going very well. We all knew this was kind of coming, but we didn't expect all the injuries as well, so it's just making it very hard to win, and the Lions are going to have a hard time winning a game this year. I think they will. I think we all think they'll win a game. They're not terrible, but it's just going to be hard to win. I mean, where other teams are going to get wins, sneak out wins, this is going to be like, man, we need to find a way to win. So I'm looking at, okay, since we're obviously not going to go to the playoffs or anything like that, like who could we trade? And as I went through this exercise, it was pretty interesting because, and pretty telling of our roster. Either our guys are injured, can't be traded, terrible contracts, no one's going to want them, terrible talent level, no one's going to want them. I guess that's the three categories. So it's like only person that we should trade that is worth trading, that we could get something for, that makes sense, that somebody would want, is Hockenson. And now there's some other players. I mean, Swift, for example, Jamal Williams. I think those guys are very solid, but those are guys we want around. Hockenson we want as well, but hear me out on this. So the thought is, hey, as you rebuild, you want first-round picks to kind of stack together. So over the next 2 years, we have 4 first-round picks. Now, the reason you want that is because all these guys will be kind of grouped together and go through, and then when they get to their second contract, that 4 years, they're kind of together. Versus a first-round pick, then the next year a first-round pick, then you kind of go, and then by the time you kind of get good, this guy's up for contract, and they're all spaced out. So if you can group all your first-round picks together in a perfect world during a rebuild, I mean, that'd be awesome to get, let's say over the next 2 years, 5 first-round picks, couple that with your second-round picks. Now you've got, over the next 2 years, so yeah, you've got like 6 like studs you should have for your rebuild. So that's why I thought, man, if we could trade Hockenson, because he has 2 years left, he's through 2022, we'll probably exercise that 5th-year option, of course, but by the time we get there to be good, he's going to be owed money, and he's going to get paid. So maybe it would make sense to, I think he's worth a first-round pick. That's the only reason I'm bringing up Hockenson versus, name another player that's like, well, okay, we could probably offload Trey Flowers for like a 7th-round pick, terrible contract, and he's terrible. Or like Big V at guard, terrible contract, nobody's going to want that, a lot of dead money. So Hockenson makes sense from a financial standpoint. He's cheap right now, but by the time we get to be good, that's when he's going to be owed money. So it might make sense for us to offload Hockenson now for a first-round pick. I don't know if we could get a first-round pick actually, but what if we get a 2 and a 5 or something like that, where again we're building that draft capital, because in a rebuild in Detroit, you have to have draft picks, and you have to believe that Brad Holmes is going to nail these draft picks. So when I looked at it, Hockenson is the only one worth trading. I think we get a 2 and a 5 for him. I mean, you guys tell me in the comments if there's anybody else that we could trade, but when you think of somebody to trade, it's like, well, that's kind of a building block. Like, we're not going to trade Ragnow. Decker's another one where I don't think it makes sense to just trade away your tackles. I mean, I know that Panay's doing so good at left tackle. It could create a kind of a log jam there when he comes back. Maybe Panay doesn't do good on the right side, but I just don't think it's good business sense to get rid of your tackles. But I think of a tight end. Yes, that's valuable in this league, but man, we're seeing through the first 4 weeks, yeah, he's caught some balls, he's done some good things, but overall, man, we're probably not going to win with him or without him. It doesn't matter. So this season, you're looking, who could we just offload? And Hockenson is one that we should consider. And if you can get a 1st or a 2nd-round pick for him, then I think it's something that you absolutely consider. Let me know in the comments if there's some other players that we should trade. And it all makes, like, it's all fun and games until you look at, man, their contracts like nuts. Flowers is a perfect example. Andy's injured. I mean, we've got, either our guys are injured, their contracts suck, or they suck, and no one's going to give them any money. So it's pretty telling about our roster, and Hockenson looks like the only guy that I consider looking at. So let me know in the comments if there's somebody else that we should trade. But we are definitely need to be sellers at the deadline of these next couple weeks before it comes open. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.